Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. Uh, Today we are going to be talking about three types of people you meet in junior high, and each one I'm going to have an example from my life or from one of my friends' lives, a story that he told me, or yeah, one of my stories. So, starting off on number one, the over cocky guy. He comes to school every day, cocky as ever. Depending on who you are, he can be a great friend or a complete jerk. He always seems to have a way to say basically, quote, quote, I'm better than you. Now, as annoying as this is, people show him one of two things: respect for his or her confidence, or disrespect for his or her immature, smart mouthed persona. I'll give you an example. Sixth grade, a new kid came in one day, like I would say second quarter maybe, and we can call him Nick. Now back then I was like 10 or 11, not much from now, but I'm pretty much like a completely different person now. So I was a kid who like I pretty much cared about everything else rather than myself. Like I would like not saying that's a bad thing, but I did it to like a more extreme type of level. I'm still kind of like that, but not as extreme as I used to be. So I took it upon myself to show him around. We ended up being pretty good friends, but he did irritate me a lot. I tried to overlook this part of his personality until one day I got really tired of his nonsense and he pushed me a little over my like limit of tolerance, and I wasn't having it. So I told him off. Although I wouldn't call it bullying, he was a bit of a jerk from then on, and we ended up fighting twice that year. But those are stories for later. That's pretty much it for number one. And number two, the attention seeker. Basically, this person makes a situation, any situation, about them and only them, or why it's about them, or how they're the victim. They always play the victim no matter what it is. It's really irritating just to be around them. Whenever someone says something, they'll say a remark like, I wouldn't have done that, or I would have done that better, or I'm not like this, I'm not like you, I'm better, blah, blah, blah. It's really annoying. And for example, now this is one like I was talking about. This story isn't one of my stories. It's someone that my friend told me, and I'm not gonna use his friend or his name. I'm gonna call him Ty. That's like short for. That's like a nickname he used to have, so we could call him Ty. So in this time, like we had a little playground near our school. Something happened to that playground, and that's another story for another time. So basically, that playground, it was near our school, and a lot of people would go right after because the bus would drop us off really close. The bus would take us like not that far, and we would end up right there. And we used to just go and hang out there, and a lot of people would go. But like, I didn't really go as much as them, and the kid that was involved in the story, the other kid, the victim, the attention seeker, he was basically he was there, and Ty was like, they were at the top of the slide set, and Ty was waiting for him to go down, and he just wouldn't. He was just sitting there humming, just being annoying and not moving. So Ty says, "Are you gonna go down sometime this week?" Sarcastically, he says that, and the kid gets up and he's just furious. He's yelling, telling him, "Get out of here. I can be here as long as I want. This is a public place. I'm a better person than you. I have patience. You need to learn patience, this and that." And Ty just, he got really, like, not upset, but he got mad at this. So the kid starts to get up to tell him more and just to be more of a jerk. And right when he's turning around, he slips on the slide. He slips, and as he's falling down, his foot gets stuck, like not stuck, but his foot hits the safety bar, and that causes him to turn like to the right, I think, and falls off of the slide. Not like he doesn't slide down, he falls straight to the ground. This kid's an actual idiot. ends up fracturing his leg and really injuring his arm. And he just starts screaming and crying, and his parents run over and they're like, "What happened?" And he tells them that Ty kicked him off, not pushed, kicked him off. And so Joe's parents call over Ty's parents and says that Ty kicked their son down the slide, and they just start like ranting and yelling at Joe's parents. And Joe's parents, being the savages they are, they said, "Shut up," and walked away while Joe's parents kept yelling at them and just ignored them. Went on with their days. Nothing much, or that's like how he ended it. He didn't say anything after that. So I think that's a pretty crazy story. He ended up falling off the swing set. The swing set, why do I keep saying swings? The slide set, it was near my house, so I would say it was a good 15-foot fall, maybe 20, I don't know, somewhere around there. So being as little as he was, 10, 11 years old, for anyone, that's a pretty high fall. Jump off 15 feet down and it's gonna hurt. And lastly, we have the Keemstar. This is a kid. I met this type of kid in 8th grade. Take in mind, 6th to 8th grade, I changed a lot. I started, like as I said earlier, I was one of those kids who just cared about everything else. I started caring a lot more about myself, and I honestly at that time still at this time, I can't care less about negative people's opinions. And it just really irritates me, and I don't like to put up with it. So basically, this kid, he's the type of person, basically he's a Keemstar. He tries to get background info on people, like stuff, weird type of information, personal information, to try to use against them. So it's really annoying. That's really sketchy for a person to do, to try to get information on you and like release your information or tell people personal stuff about you. It's really bad. Also, what else does Keemstar do? A lot of empty threats. Empty threats. And wait. Sorry. So they'll just be like, "Oh, I'll sue you, this and that, blah blah blah. Don't mess with me, don't talk to me, I'll sue you." If you raise your voice, they'll be like, "Get out of here, don't talk to me like that, you don't know who you're talking to, this and that, blah blah blah." It's really annoying, and they're so immature and stupid. So, story time. 8th grade. Kid walks in, first month of school. I said that weird, of school. It was 8th grade and first period. Why couldn't it be later in the day? I don't want to deal with that in the morning. I'm always tired. So this kid, he walks in late to class with a really smug look on his face and some sunglasses. He walks in with one of those walks, the walks where they're like, they think they're all that, but they really aren't. And then I'm like, whatever, and ignore him, minding my own business, but listening to the teacher talk. And he ends up sitting 2 seats behind me, and right next to my friend. We could call my friend Jake. So as he sits next to Jake, that's where the teacher sat him. And he starts, like, for some reason, he starts targeting me. Like, out of everyone. I didn't even look at him. And he starts targeting me. So he sits next to my friend, and he says, "Do you know that kid up there?" Pointing at me. And I could kind of hear them talking, but Jake ended up filling me in on everything that he said. So he starts asking Jake, he says to Jake, "Do you know that kid?" Or he asks Jake, "Do you know that kid up there?" Pointing at me. And Jake says, "Yeah, he's my friend." So this kid, he just starts like he asking a bunch of questions about personal questions, not just like, oh, how old is he? He asked that, but he asked more personal questions. He starts asking my full name, my date of birth, my phone number. I didn't have a phone, so I didn't really care too much, but that's still kind of weird. And then he started asking my parents' names since he was my friend, what street I live, stuff like that. Obviously, Jake being my friend, he didn't answer him. He just he just told the guy to shut up and started ignoring him. So at lunch, I'm just walking with my drink. I had this little thing. I don't know if you guys have ever had it, but at school it's called a switch. It's like a little can. It's like soda type stuff. And he goes and he shoulder checks me. If you don't know what a shoulder check, basically he like as they're walking by, like they bump your shoulder hard to try to like intimidate you, and he makes me spill some of it like on my clothes, and I get pretty heated, and I tell him, dude, what? I'm not gonna say it, but I'm just like, dude, what's wrong with you? And he's just like, shut up, do you know who you're talking to? And I'm like, from what it looks like, some smug little petty white boy. And his face turned red. He was angry. He was so mad. He's like, talk to me like that again, insult me one more time, and I'm going to sue you. And I'm like, you won't do anything. He's like, watch when my parents file a lawsuit on you. And I'm like, dude, just shut up and go away. He's so mad. Just starts like, you know that sound when you make when you're just like really, like he's making a like growling sound. He's like, something like and so like a lot of people, not everyone, a couple people are looking. They're just like to see what's going on. And this kid walks up to me. He's like, because I turned around and started walking away, kind of. I walked like 2 steps before this kid stopped me, and he's like, "Yo, what's that guy's problem?" And I say it clearly so that he can hear me. I say, I think he's on his rag really loudly, and he just starts like, he flips out on everything, runs into storms into the office, and he's just angry. Like, I never even got called into the office or anything. They never like got in trouble, or they never got me in trouble. I thought I was gonna get it bad from like my parents and the principal and stuff, but nothing ever ended up happening to me, except that kid, he switched out of my class, and a month or 2 later he ended up switching out of the school. So I guess I got away scot-free, and he pretty much started it. So I guess he might have realized you can't sue someone for something you start, and you can't sue someone for saying something to you. Yeah, so that's been the story, guys. That's been the top three. I'm an idiot. Sorry. That's been 3 types of people that you might meet in middle school. If you guys know any people like this or have any encounters of someone like this, leave me your story down in the comments and leave a like, and please sub. I'd really appreciate it on my new channel. Thanks for watching. Peace out.